Early this year, 90 Day Fiance star Jorge Nava was arrested with a massive amount of marijuana. He makes his money from legal pot, but at the time, he was in Arizona. Now, he and Anfisa have revealed, he has been sentenced to more than 2 years behind bars. In an interview with TMZ, Jorge Nava explains why he made a plea deal rather than fighting for his day in court. "When I first started," Jorge says,
"with the charges against me, I was looking at like 24 years or something like that, some ridiculous number. Well, it's not like there's a reasonable number of years to lose from your life because of an OD plant, but like 1/3 of the average lifespan is evil. But luckily my lawyer was able to work out a plea agreement," Jorge says. "I ended up pleading to a Class 4 felony in Arizona. The plea deal is better than what he had been facing for transporting 300 pounds of pot, but it's a far cry from probation and a stern warning." Jorge has been sentenced to 2.5 years behind bars. 1/10 of the time he might have spent, but still a very long time. "I feel like it's really harsh of a penalty for the crime," Jorge tells TMZ. "Just because it's marijuana related. And," Jorge reminds everyone, "right now it's going legal in a lot of states.
It's actually medically legal in Arizona," Jorge points out. "I just feel like going to prison over the same stuff that's legal is kind of crazy to me. Weird to think that crossing an imaginary line with one type of plant in your car can ruin your life." Anfisa posted a video about Jorge's legal battle. We've included the video, but Anfisa wants everyone to know that the video does not tell the whole story. "Hi guys," Anfisa wrote after uploading the video. "I was finishing editing this video after I found the actual outcome," Anfisa reveals. "And I'm shocked by what Jorge got. This is a woman whose husband is going to prison. P.S., she adds, I actually made a mistake in the end. He got 2.5 years. To rub salt in the wound, Jorge laments that he could have avoided prison time. "My lawyer told me if I didn't have any priors, I would have probably got probation," Jorge says. "I would have been a first-time offender in Arizona," he shares.
"But, I had 2 previous convictions for cultivation of marijuana. It wasn't that long ago that marijuana was illegal in California, and the rest of the country. Just to set that straight, that's my criminal record," Jorge makes clear. "I've never done anything else. I've never even had a DUI." Judge Billy Sipe clearly did not see things Jorge's way. Jorge's attorney implored the court to consider his client's young age when ruling on his sentence. Jorge is, last we checked, 26.
"That's not old, exactly, but not generally an age where courts choose leniency as they might for a teenager." Desperate, his attorney even asked the judge to take into account Jorge's job in the television industry. Yeah, that did not work, either. Judge Sipe gave Jorge the maximum sentence behind bars that the deal that he had reached with prosecutors would allow. Many fans don't particularly like Jorge, or Anfisa, for that matter. But it's one thing to dislike a man. It's quite another to want him to lose years off of his life. But like him, hate him, or feel sorry for him, some fans have to ask, does this mean the end of Jorge and Anfisa on 90 Day Fiance? It might. Producers may decide that Jorge and Anfisa are old news, and that Jorge's imprisonment makes involving him in the show too difficult. But if producers are smart, they'll recognize that Anfisa and Jorge are polarizing enough for it to be worth the extra effort. Plenty of shows do interviews with people who are behind bars. 90 Day Fiance doesn't have to be any different. That is assuming that Jorge and Anfisa still want to be on camera, and still want to remain a couple. Prison can really change a marriage.